All right, Bucs fans, here we go. Y'all ready? Let's get it on. We got some fun coming tonight. Got a lot to talk about. How about win number one? That's the main thing we got to talk about. How about win number one? We are 1-0. Yeah, I don't want to hear too much complaining. I don't want to hear too much griping. I don't want to hear too much crying about style points and beauty points and any of that. I don't want to hear about it. The Bucs are 1-0. Good teams find ways to win games like that. And that's what they did. They found a way to win. And today, Bucs fans, we are sitting here at 1-0. We're in a jam-packed division with the Saints at 1-0 and the Panthers at 1-0, and we're going to get into that. And there's a lot to talk about, guys. We've got a ton to talk about. We'll look forward to the Falcons game. We've got some, just like last week, a little bit of, we got some of the enemies coming in for a little bit of a visit tonight. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We also have special guest David Whitescarver and a little surprise coming for you. So it will be good. We got lots of stuff to talk about, though. Regarding the last game, everybody panicking and freaking out and saying, oh my gosh, the defense sucks. You guys were one game removed from holding the Kansas City Chiefs to no touchdowns in the Super Bowl. This is basically pretty much the same defense. Simmer down, Sparky. Everything's going to be fine. All right. It ain't perfect. It wasn't perfect. It's the first game. Let them get their sea legs, shake off the dust. Get in football. If you can do all of that and still walk away with a win, 4 turnovers, you can still walk away with a win, guys, everything's going to be okay. The things that we do need to be realistic about, Rojo's got to hold on to the ball. Leonard Fournette can't just hand screen passes over to the defense. There's got to be some better ball control. There's got to be ball security, which don't we all need? There's got to be more of that in this for this team if they want to continue like they did last year. So, guys, as Benny says, we're on a 9-game winning streak, the longest since 1999. That's an awesome stat. Thank you, Benny. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. The Bucs are 1-0. Joe Tryon Sroyinka. I want to talk a little bit about him tonight because that guy looked like a beast to me. I watched him every play that I saw him in there, and every single play he was getting pressure on the quarterback. Not most of them, all of them. He looked incredible. He really does. Let's see what happens. Let's see how that all plays itself out. Matt Coulson has been talking a lot about 8 more. He wants the Brady slam of 17 in a row. Matt's been talking about that. We'll see what happens. Let's get through the Falcons. After that, we've got, oh boy, do we have a game coming. But let's worry about the Falcons. Let's not turn this into a trap game by looking forward. Let's talk about the Falcons. The Falcons are what we need to focus on. But right now, let's recap just a little bit. Let's talk about the Cowboys game, how that went down, guys, and how this team walked away a winner in spite of 4 turnovers. Here's the bottom line. The Cowboys defense sucks. You guys think, okay, the Buccaneers defense sucked. No, they did not. They did not. They got the ball. The Cowboys got the ball deep how many times? And still didn't score enough points to win. Guys, this defense stood up when it needed to. The age-old bend but don't break kind of a thing. Now, yeah, granted, their Greg Zuerlein basically missed a short field goal attempt. I mean, he was like 35 yards away and he missed it by 40. I'm not quite sure how you do that. But, I mean, the thing is, the Buccaneers, this is how good teams win. We watched it for years in New England. We'd always say, God, how do they get so lucky? It's not lucky. It's not lucky. What is it? Luck is the residue of preparation and desire or something like that. There's some bumper sticker t-shirt thing. I don't know, but something people post on Facebook when they're trying to look smart. The thing is, guys, this is a team that is built to win. And when adversity hits, who do you want running out there on the field? Now, I want to talk about this because some of you guys, I don't know what is wrong with you. You're like the guy who's dating a supermodel, but you keep going back and checking your old skank's Facebook page to see what her status is and see what she's up to. That's what you keep doing when it comes to Jameis. All right, you keep posting all these things about Jameis did this, Jameis did that. Okay, listen, man, you're dating the supermodel. You got Tom Brady at quarterback. Stop it. Stop it. Stop looking back at the ugly girl that you used to date. Okay? It's amazing to me that you guys so many of you are still in love with the ugly girl you used to date. When you're basically dating Kate Upton. Stop it. Don't look at Rosie. Okay? You don't need that. I mean, guys, there are 31 teams would rather have our quarterback right now. 31. And anybody who says, well, I don't know, the Chiefs wouldn't. Yeah, for 1 year? Really? They probably would. They probably would if they were honest. I mean, they watched that Super Bowl too. So the thing is, guys, stop looking at the ugly girl you used to date and thinking, wow, maybe it wasn't so bad. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Now, yeah, that guy, yeah, that quarterback, he was like the crazy girl you used to date when, some of it was really good because she was a crazy girl and crazy girls are good at certain things. Okay. But you always end up with the cops in the driveway. It always goes bad in the long run. It always goes bad. That's what you had. And now you've got this beautiful, wonderful, you're dating the perfect woman. And you're missing the crazy girl. Stop it. Just stop doing that. All right? We've got the good old days are now. We got it all right now. This is what we've been waiting for, guys. And it's fun. This is the good part. This is the good part. This is that relationship you've always wanted. We've got this. Oh my gosh, guys. Let go of that old guy. You want to talk bad about him? That's fine. I'm on board with you. We can talk bad about him. I'm good with that. That's kind of fun because you know what? He's part of the enemy. He's part of the enemy. Does that mean I wish him bad? Well, Kinda. Now, I'll admit, if he was playing for, I don't know, somebody out west, the Seahawks or something, somebody I don't care about, one way or the other, has no real bearing on the Buccaneers, then I'd wish him well. But he's playing for the freaking Saints. The Saints. I hope he sucks. That doesn't mean I hate him. It means I hate them, not him. So yeah, guys, suck it up. Suck it up and start to realize you've got the better quarterback. Stop reminiscing fondly about days gone by with the crazy girl you used to date. Stop checking her Facebook status. Stop checking her statistics. Stop making sure. Wait, who's she dating? What's she doing now? Stop it. Stop it. Where'd she go on vacation? What's she doing? Stop it. Spend your time with your supermodel that you got. Speaking of Tom Brady, did y'all see the expert level trolling done today by Tom Brady, putting out on his Instagram page, putting out a video where he's telling everybody, let's go get the W. His W, I think he calls it, video that he puts out every week where he's saying, let's go take it to this team. Let's go get the W. Everybody keep working. And in the background on his laptop, on the screen, the time shows what? 3:28. 3:28. 28-3. 328 looked just like the scoreboard. I thought that was kind of awesome. But Tom Brady is, I mean, you guys, we are lucky to have who we have as our quarterback. There is so much to say about that. There's a lot going on with the Bucs. They signed a cornerback. I'm sure I'm going to say this guy's name wrong, Pierre Desir. They signed him to the practice squad because SMB, Sean Murphy-Bunting, is out at least 3 weeks. He's been put on IR. They also put Zach Triner on IR. They promoted Andrew Adams off the practice squad. Andrew Adams, after he had a very good game on Sunday, and I didn't realize he's a 6-year veteran. That tells you something. I mean, Desir, who they just signed, this guy, most recently he played with the Seahawks, but prior to that, and I've got to read this because there's no way to remember a list like this. Prior to signing with the Buccaneers, he played with the Seahawks, the Jets, Baltimore, the Browns, the Chargers, the Colts, and probably an arena team near you. He's played with pretty much everybody. All right, he may be the only guy in the league who has played with more teams than Josh Rosen or Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm not quite sure. But I mean, it's the Bucs have him now. He's on the practice squad. He's a cornerback, filling in the spot because SMB is out for at least 3 weeks. So we're going to have to deal with that, guys. With a dislocated elbow, there's not much we can do about it. Let me bring in my co-host on the post-game show, special guest tonight, my co-host on the post-game show, Mr. David Whitescarver. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing great. And you, Rick?
I am doing good. So
on to week 2.
Off to week 2. There's a lot that we got to cover. A lot that's coming up. We're playing the Falcons. It's a division game. Don't sleep on it, guys. Division games are always tough. But I want to point out a couple of things about this. Matt Ryan, I think this is very, very interesting because Matt Ryan got destroyed in this game. I mean, crushed, abused. It was ugly. Matt Ryan was not responsible for a single hit, sack, hurry, or pressure, according to BucAF. Not one of them. Every single one of them was not his responsibility. The Falcons had the league's worst pass blocking efficiency. Now think about the defensive line they're about to play. Okay. The league's worst pass blocking efficiency. Arthur Smith, welcome to the NFL, or welcome to head coaching. Their left guard and right tackle positions were responsible for 92.8% of the pressure that Ryan faced. Just those two positions. This is going to be potentially ugly. Ugly. And it's going to be pretty at the same time. But I mean, guys, get ready for it. Dave, what are your thoughts about the game coming up?
Well, I tried to put a positive spin on things for the Falcons in some regard, and all I came up with is they're a dumpster fire. You're reflecting on the offensive line. They intentionally got younger, and it's been a big oops up to this point.
Yeah.
I just don't see the foul. I mean, what do you do? You've got a 36-year-old quarterback. Whether they intentionally did it or not, they're in full rebuild. Felipe Franks and Josh Rosen are the backup quarterbacks. There is no heir apparent there. I don't know what you do going forward if you're the Falcons, except lose a lot of games and get a high draft pick.
Yeah, there's that. What do they hold on to? There's nothing to hold on to as a Falcons fan. And I'm interested because we go right in a few minutes here. We have Mad Mike of Atlanta Falcons Nation coming on here. I want to say something very cool about this guy. He's on his show right now. He has a show online right now. For Atlanta Falcons Nation. He's actually going to step away from his show to come on this show for 15 minutes and spend a little time with us here. So that's kind of cool. So Mad Mike of Atlanta Falcons Nation will be here shortly. Guys, I think I don't know. I mean, I look forward to this game, and I mean, I'm scratching my head. Things never go as possible, yeah, as expected. You ever notice how when there's a game, when you have a team that has a great running game, and they're playing against a team that has a terrible run defense, you always think, oh man, this is going to be this huge, they're going to run all over, and they never do. It's because that team that has a terrible run defense sells out to stop the run. And then the other team can pass on them. So they end up passing on them. And everybody's like, well, how did that happen? I thought it was supposed to. Let me tell you something. They are going to throw the kitchen sink into protecting Matt Ryan. They're going to do, I mean, they're going to probably be adding, I mean, you're going to have 2 tight ends in and running backs, probably a fullback. I mean, you're going to have 1 guy going out. I mean, that's about the way that it's the only thing I can see him doing.
I don't even think injuries in the secondary are going to matter because they're just going to be putting so much pressure on Matt Ryan. He's going to be running from his life from the opening whistle.
Yeah. Or they're just going to max protect and not be able to do anything on offense. Because everybody is there protecting. I mean, this does have potential to get ugly. First 2 weeks, I've told you, Antoine Winfield, thank you for this. The first 2 weeks, anything can happen. Things get weird. Teams are finding their sea legs. Look, at some point, the Buccaneers are going to click, and everything is going to start to roll again. You hope that's now. It's a division foe. Don't look past them. This is a big game. Again, New Orleans, did you watch that game? Did you see that game? That was the Packers. They weren't playing Detroit. They weren't playing, some terrible team. That was the Packers.
With the reigning MVP and a pretty tough defense that got obliterated. Yeah. It wasn't even a game.
So the Bucs are going to be in a battle with the Saints. So don't look past them. And I'll be doggone if the Panthers didn't look pretty darn good this week. So
it was against the Jets. It was a double revenge game.
Yes, it was against the Jets, and Sam Darnold was the quarterback. So
and Robbie Anderson, it was a revenge game for him too.
Right. So
they connected on a touchdown pass, which I'm sure they were thrilled.
The Panthers have gotten better, but I guys, I said it before last week started. Understand the Saints upgraded at quarterback. That's not me telling you I love Jameis. I just told you I think that's the ugly girl you used to date. Okay. What I'm telling you is get ready for a battle with the Saints. It's going to be a long, drawn-out war with that team. Be ready for it, okay? Everybody's talking about, the Bucs have this really easy schedule. Well, the Saints have the same schedule, basically. So, I mean, guys, this is not going to be a cakewalk. And get ready for some battles. And
I mean, Jameis Winston is 1-0 with 5 touchdowns and no interceptions since he had LASIK surgery. He had LASIK surgery early last year.
Yeah, well,
it's only start.
Yeah, I'm too BucAF to take that too seriously. I mean, I don't think that was the problem, unless he got LASIK in his decision making. I don't think that's a problem because that's where the cloudiness really seemed to come from. So I don't know, but what can you do? I see all you guys in chat, by the way. Teresa, hello. Matt, hello. Hans, Christopher Cole, back as always. My friend, how are you doing, Christopher? It always makes me happy when I see you there. Constance, how you doing? Willow, hey, Willow, how you doing? It's good to see everybody in chat going at it. Because we're 1-0, guys. We're 1-0. And I'm feeling BucAF right now, let me tell you that. It feels good to be Buccaneer. It really does. And in a couple of minutes here, Dave, when I let you go here, it's going to be because Mad Mike of Atlanta Falcons Nation is coming on, and I'm looking forward to talking to him about.
I don't want to stand in the way of Mad Mike.
No, it doesn't seem like you'd want to stand in the way of somebody named.
Doesn't
Mad
sound
Mike.
like a good plan.
No, sounds like there are better ways to go at this. So I don't know. I don't think they can. We're going to find out here. I want to ask him, and I want to talk to him about what's it like as a Falcons fan right now. What are you genuinely thinking? I mean, there are times as Buccaneers fans when we got our butt kicked, but we looked at it and thought, okay, well, let's see where they're going. I want to see how Mad Mike feels about the Falcons. And I get it. Look, if he is Falcon AF, he may just be blind and say they look great. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're probably going to get a little bit of a dose of, I think that's what we'll probably hear. But I'm looking forward to hearing from Mad Mike here shortly. It's going to be fun. And then after that, guys, we have Jason Gaines, who's going to be coming on, another Falcons fan who's going to be speaking to us about his team. And I'm looking forward to that. So the next 30 minutes or so is going to be a lot of fun as we venture into spending a little time with the enemy. And this week, the enemy is the Falcons, guys. The enemy is a division foe. Division games are big. They are huge. Remember how it used to be? They'd say break the season down into four separate quarters, and you'd see how you do each of the quarters. What you do in each, first 4 games, second 4 games. Now there's 17. I don't know how they're going to do that. One hanging around at the end. I don't know. But right now they're 1-0, looking to be 2-0, but we'll see. Guys, that's a grown football team on the other side of the line who just got their hat handed to them, and they are going to have something to prove. They're playing the champs. They're playing Brady, and don't think that escapes. Don't think that's lost on them.
Well, the Falcons, they're definitely not as bad as they were against the Eagles. The Eagles played a great game and showed up and were ready to play. The first 2 drives, the Falcons had sustained drives that ended in field goals. And then the Eagles made adjustments and it was lights out for the rest of the game. So, I mean, there's some glimmer of hope if you're a Falcon fan. Not much, I don't think, because I believe the Bucs, especially their defense, has something to prove as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be an interesting matchup. I definitely think the Bucs will win, but it's not going to be the cakewalk.
Yeah. All right, Dave, I'm going to see you on Sunday game time. I'm going to bring in our very special guest here. So I'm going to go ahead and head you out to the lobby. Thanks for coming by.
You're welcome. See you Sunday.
Yep. All right. Let's bring Mad Mike of Atlanta Falcons Nation in. How you doing, my friend?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. Thank you for coming by. Welcome to enemy territory.
Oh. It's enemies. Okay. You getting it started.
Well, we are enemy, come on. Okay. We are enemy territory where we can be friendly enemies, but we are enemy. Frenemies? Is that, I don't know, but I mean,
I like that. I like frenemies.
So tell me this. I want to understand what it's like right now as a Falcons fan. Look, the Buccaneers have sucked for a very, very long time. And I know the times when things are rough and you're looking at it, you're finding ways to have hope and reasons to have hope. And there are times you see the glimmers of hope and all of that. As a Falcons fan, where are you at right now?
Well, Atlanta Falcons Nation, Matt Mike Sports, Atlanta Falcons Nation, we do things completely different. Our platform, for the most part, is all about we're going to be positive. We're going to stand behind our team no matter what the circumstances. Awesome. At this point in time, there's little to be excited about. We lost Julio Jones. We're on the new administration with a new GM, a new head coach. So it's a lot of turnover within not only the front office, the coaching staff. They're trying to employ a different a culture here in Atlanta. The players. I mean, everybody. There's not a person in football who does not love Julio Jones. So when you lose a Julio Jones, quite frankly, you're going to lose a lot of fans. Respect and confidence. So it's more so confidence than anything. They do not believe in what the Falcons are doing right now. A lot of fans just don't believe. You have to prove to the fans, that you know what you're doing. So at this point in time, getting off and losing the way that they lost Sunday, a lot of fans are jumping off board.
Isn't it kind of? I mean. When you're rebuilding, and you're kind of doing that, that's what's happening. I mean, you're bringing in a rookie with Kyle Pitts, and you are kind of rebuilding. You're not really in full-fledged rebuild mode because you don't have the new quarterback yet, but yeah, you're kind of rebuilding on the fly. It's a tough time to go through, and when you're bringing in a new system, there's going to be rough spots in the road. I will tell you, as a Bucs fan, everybody who thinks this game's going to be a cakewalk, that's a grown team with something to prove on the other side of the field that the Bucs are about to face. They're angry, and there are some hurt feelings regarding Tom Brady. You know, there are some guys.
We have not forgotten about that. We pay close attention to everything that Brady says.
Yeah, I mean, he reminds you. He finds little subtle ways to remind you and things. And I don't know if that's head games, or I don't know if he's just playing, or I don't know what the heck's going on. But that's a grown football team over there. And anybody who thinks it's going to be a cakewalk, you're probably wrong. I mean, I read a stat here earlier that not one single sack, hit, hurry, or pressure was. Not even one was Matt Ryan's responsibility. That's from PFF. That's huge. Not one hit or sack or hurry or pressure fell on Matt Ryan's shoulders. 92.8% of the pressure came from your left guard or right tackle position. Is your offensive line a problem?
Obviously, when you have a stat like that, I mean, it's definitely it's problematic. But from what I've seen, a lot of the issues, especially with a young team, is chemistry. This is the number one thing that I preach on my platform is chemistry. Doesn't matter how many great players that you have, and as a Bucs fan, especially last year, when you have a Tom Brady. One of the things that you guys, struggled with early in the season was, the passing game and establishing the running game. So it takes time for, the offensive lineman, especially offensive lineman. So the things that I saw, it wasn't so much, the guys suck. These guys are, most of the guys on the Falcons, their offensive line, the first round or second round, third round talent. So they obviously have talent, but looking at that,
it's going to take a minute.
It's going to take a minute to kind of get those guys.
Yeah, I mean the Bucs secondary looked terrible last week in spots. So wipe that grin off your face. Okay, the Bucs secondary I know did not look good in parts of the game. They were injuries. There was a lot of that happened. I mean, is Matt Ryan? This is the one thing that goes through my mind as I think about it. As I think, okay, to make up for the struggles of the offensive line, they're going to have to max protect and keep everybody into block. Okay, to help the offensive line. That means you're not able to take advantage of the weakness that's out there for the Buccaneers. Football is a matchup thing. You can have two teams that are basically equal, or even a team that's not quite as good look really good against another team just because of the way they match up. I'm interested in seeing what happens this week because one of two things is going to happen. Week one, first of all, and I've said this, and I will tell you this too. I will look you right straight in the face and say, look, week 1, weird things happen.
Right.
You might look really good. You might look really bad. Simmer down. Give it a minute.
Overreaction Monday. That's what I call it. Overreaction Sunday. Overreaction Monday is the exact same thing. You never know what you're going to get.
But tell me what the Bucs have to. What is it that the Bucs, in your opinion, what is it that the Bucs need to most be concerned about?
I would have to say it's two things. But if just mostly, it's Grady Jarrett. I know Grady Jarrett did. He had a couple of missed sacks Sunday, but for the most part, one thing there's a weakness with Tom Brady is that he's just not very nimble. He's not very mobile. He's a statue in the pocket. So if Grady Jarrett gets off to a hot start early and with a defensive mind like Dean Pease, and we know the track record, when he sees a weakness, he's going to exploit that weakness. So I have to say you have to respect the fact that Grady Jarrett is one of the best defensive tackles in the league, and the quickest way to really, cause any issues or cause problems with the offense is straight ahead. That's it. Go straight ahead to the quarterback. It's going to cause all types of issues. You can't defend the defensive tackle your entire game plan, whether it's passing, running game, it's done. So they have
the running game. Tell me about the running game. Tell me about the Falcons' running game.
The running game, for the most part, it's a lot better. Mike Davis is one of those backs that when you look at him, you immediately say, okay, this guy's not worth anything. I mean, it's and then you have Cordero Patterson. For the most part, this is his second year playing running back full time, and we all know he's an explosive player. So when he sees daylight, he can take it to the house at any given time. So the running game those guys rush for about 120 rushing yards, and that's probably the best since I think it may have been against the Bucs. Ironically, it may have been against the Bucs.
Well, that had to be a while ago because the Bucs haven't had a 100-yard rusher against them. They had one 100-yard rusher last year against them.
One
the whole year. The entire year, and he had 102 yards or something, and their team lost.
Okay, I know we ran the ball a lot better against the Bucs, but the point is that the Falcons' running game is a lot better than it was last year. And anytime you have a quarterback like Matt Ryan and you have balance, and he's in rhythm, you can kind of do some things. And that's the same thing with Tom Brady. You give these guys balance, they're gonna rip your they're gonna rip your defense apart. So
are they good at receiving the ball out of the backfield?
Yes. This is probably the first time that we've had in quite some time since the Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, where we had running backs that had at least 3 receptions out of the backfield. So this is a much more balanced team under Arthur Smith. So,
well, that's kind of the roadmap to beat the Buccaneers, I think, is the short pass and get rid of the ball quickly. I think that's sort of the roadmap to beat the Bucs. And I think this game, look, I will tell you flat out, this game could be a blowout for the Bucs, or the Falcons could put up a fight. We're going to see one or the other is going to happen. And I think we'll probably know pretty quick. I think we'll find out. Listen, you're in the middle of your show. Is that correct?
Right.
You escaped over here to visit with us, and I want to tell you thank you. And I don't want to keep you any longer.
No,
I want to say,
it's perfectly fine.
Thank you for being here. I mean, it's I do appreciate it. Tell everybody here where they can find you and what nights of the week you're on. Maybe we can all come visit and do a little trash talking.
As a matter of fact, we're putting together a NFC a roundtable. So we are officially inviting you over to Mike Sports Atlanta Falcons Nation. We kind of get your take on things. So Again, you can find us at Mad Mike Sports and Atlanta Falcons Nation. Again, man, this is an honor to be here, but we're all about football. I love football. Look, I eat, sleep, and breathe football. That's just what we do 7 days a week. All right. Yeah. There's no off days on our platform. All right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This is every day. This is what we do. Atlanta Falcons Nation. We're a positive platform. So we don't do the trolling. We don't do the name calling. This is a positive platform. So if anybody feels
that's awesome.
That's it. That's what
we do. A little trash talking. We do a little bit. It's kind of fun. It's all in fun. It's the fun stuff where where it's like, oh, come on, we're gonna kick your butt, that kind of thing. But it's all fun. Right. Like, look, everybody who knows it. Look, I lived in Atlanta, by the way, for many years, for about 20 years almost. And I went to all the Bucs all the Bucs tailgate parties and everything out in the parking lot outside the stadium, and we had a great time with Falcons fans and everything. So I do want to say thank you for coming by. I will stop by. I will keep in touch with you by Twitter. Let's keep in touch, and whenever you would like, I'd be happy to come by.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. You have a great night. All right, that was awesome. Let me get this set up. There we go. That was awesome to have Mad Mike stop by, and now I'll let him get back to his show. He was a little bit of with that a little Max Headroom there for some of you older people. You'll get that joke. Yeah, I mean it you got to feel for a guy being a Falcons fan right now, and Bucs fans, you got to know what it feels like because we've all been there. It's tough right now. It's tough. You're trying to stay positive. You're trying to stay up on your team. You're trying to all that. And you just watched the game. And you're like, oh, man. You remember those games? Remember that I think it was a Pittsburgh or Baltimore. I don't remember what the game was. There were several games that were just in the Lovie Smith era. Flashbacks. Sorry. Bucs traumatic stress disorder. Sorry. BTSD. It'll bring back some bad memories for a lot of you guys. But by the way, somebody asked me, what do I think about the signing of Desir? Well, like I said, he's played for I don't know, 23 of the teams or something. Not really, but I think it's like 7 of the teams in the NFL for a reason. He has not caught on. There's a reason for that. When guys keep bouncing from team to team to team, there's a reason. And he's on the practice squad. So, there's only so much excitement I'm going to have about signing this guy. It's depth. He's on the practice squad. Awesome. That is what it is. Welcome to the practice squad. I hope you pick up the system. Hope everything goes well, and we'll have you around. So welcome to the Bucs. That's about all I have to say about this here. You're here because we lost Sean Murphy Bunting. That's a loss. That is a loss. This team's going to hurt a little bit because of it, but they're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Challenges come, man. If you thought we were going to go through this season with no injuries, you haven't been watching NFL football very long. That's not realistic. So, okay. That's the injury right now. We lost him for about 3 weeks. That's actually good news. Hopefully it won't be longer. You never know. These things can be weird, but we will see. We will see. Yeah. Gerald McCoy. Oh, Gerald McCoy. Johnny, thanks for bringing that up. Gerald McCoy lasted one play before he got injured. One play. Gerald McCoy. Oh, that guy. God bless him. If he could play half as good as he could talk, it would be nice. Let's do this. I'm going to bring in our next Falcons friend, a brand new friend of the show. Let's bring him in here. How you doing?
Hey, nice to meet you, Rick.
Nice to meet you. All right, everybody. This is Jason Gaines. He's been a loyal Falcons fan for decades, and I'll let you tell a little bit about that story. But he recently moved into enemy territory. He's now in the Bay Area. Treat him well, Bucs fans. Be nice, and he's also, and this definitely qualifies him to be on the show. He's a good friend of John Superfan Blakey, so that qualifies you automatically. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing very well. I appreciate that introduction. And just to give you like a little bit more feedback, I know we were going back and forth earlier today and everything. My mom actually lived down here in Tampa when the Bucs were created, so she remembered seeing Doug Williams play and everything, and when the original stadium was created and everything. So yep. They went to a lot of games and everything back in the day.
So you're basically saying I'm as old as your mom. That's basically what you just said, because that was me. I remember those days. I was there for those games. So yeah. So tell me, I want you to give me feedback on you as a Falcons fan. I mean, we'll call ourselves frenemies. Okay. We're friendly enemies. What does it feel like right now being a Falcons fan? I mean, we've gone through rough years. We know what it's like. What's it like? What are you guys actually feeling and thinking?
I would say it's I'd say it's really rough. I mean, I'd even use depressing, if you will, as another word. I mean, it's haven't been at the 500 point. I want to say that was week 8 of 2018 when they had beaten the then Redskins. Washington football team. The last playoff run was obviously 2017 and everything as well too. So definitely it's a new transition period and everything, and it's not where I personally would want it to be, to be honest with you and everything. I think a long-term rebuilding period is coming up. That's kind of my gut feeling, if you will. Right.
Now they're certainly not in the rebuild yet, in the sense that you got Matt Ryan. I mean, when you look at this week's game, is this one of those games you're just like, oh no? Or are you looking at it going, all right, let's wait and see what happens?
I mean, there are certainly, as I've learned through the Falcons' history, if you will, and everything, they do seem to pull out a win that they shouldn't get, if that makes sense. So,
no, I understand. You win the games you shouldn't and lose the games that you should win.
So I'll give you one example. So it was in 2019, they played the 49ers out in San Francisco, kind of a revenge game because Kyle Shanahan's obviously the head coach of the 49ers, and Matt Ryan hit Julio Jones for the game-winning touchdown. And it was weird because they actually reviewed it.
Right.
And it was like, do they have the guts to call it a touchdown? Because Julio had broken the white plane, if you will, and he did make it a touchdown. So that's one example. But if I'm being honest, which is what I want to be and everything, I don't think they have a chance this week. For what I saw in week 1 and everything, I was like, and I know Bucs fans do know this name. It's like, is Dirk Cutter still calling the plays? I was like,
oh, flashback. Why'd you do that, man?
Well, Dirk Cutter was actually the Falcons' offensive coordinator from 2012 to 2014 before.
Yeah, he made Matt Ryan's peak. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he was there at the ascension, if you will, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
And it's just, for whatever reason, the second time around, it was like, this feels very robotic. This feels very archaic. I think the Falcons last year, I think they were like at the very bottom as far as not really using much pre-snap motion, if you will.
We're familiar with this, by the way.
And basically I was like, oh, it's 2nd and 12 after a holding call. You're going to call a running play right there that maybe gets 3 yards. All right, it's 3rd and 9. Here comes Fletcher Cox right up the middle. So
yeah, well, we can commiserate on that one. We can understand exactly what you're saying, and those are not good years. They really are not.
Understood.
Now, okay, I lived in Atlanta for like 20 years. I've been around Falcons fans, and there's some. Let me tell you, there are some very special trash talking Falcons fans. Okay, there are some of you would be shocked. I mean, I don't know how much time you've spent in Atlanta. I know prior to that, you said you became a Falcons fan when you lived in South Carolina, correct?
Correct.
Then you went to Atlanta?
Yeah, so I actually lived in Atlanta for just over 2 years. So I was actually still living in Atlanta earlier this year and everything.
Okay.
I got a better job offer down here in Tampa, and I was like, well, I can't pass up this job offer that I'm getting.
Yeah.
There's obviously, 0% state income tax, which, by the way, that makes a huge difference on your paycheck. I've been doing that wrong my entire life. And so, but I got very familiar with it, and I'm originally from Greenville, South Carolina, which is literally, it's halfway between Charlotte and Atlanta, just to give like a little bit of background.
And I'm in Charlotte, by the way.
Sorry?
I'm in Charlotte.
Oh, you're in Charlotte.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, you definitely know where Greenville is for sure. Yep. Then. So, but basically, growing up, I still am heavily into baseball as well too, and played baseball and everything. So I would always do baseball camp at Furman University, which it's a smaller university. It's not as big as Clemson or USC at Columbia, if you will. But I would do their baseball camp, and then after I get done with the baseball camp for the day, the Falcons had their training camp at Furman, so I would hang out there for a couple of hours until my mom would come pick me up. So I would see Michael Vick work done, Algie Crumpler, guys like that go through their drills and everything. And that's cool. It definitely was fun to watch. I was like, oh yeah, Algie Crumpler really is that big.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. So that's how long you've been a Falcons fan. So basically, when Tom Brady does things like his little troll, the troll thing he did, okay, does that take you off?
I mean, I thought it was petty, if I'm being honest with you, and everything. It's, it's kind of like, I guess I'd put in the thing of where, I know Robert Kraft, who's the Patriots owner and everything, he had done a thing with the Super Bowl rings after the Super Bowl with the Falcons and everything, where I think it was like 283 diamond carats. I'm not a jeweler or anything like that, but he had done stuff like that. It's kind of like, I guess I've come to expect it and that type of thing as well too. So I think I've helped build up like a thicker skin, if you will, over the years and everything. And, it's definitely, I'll put this out there as well too. I'm not sure if you're familiar with SBNation.com, for example, but they actually did like literally a 7-part series on the history of the Falcons. So it's like, if anybody needs any dirt or ammo or anything, I mean, seriously, it's literally like all out there. Like, I mean, I even learned stuff. I was like, I never knew that, honestly.
Yeah. Well, let me do this. Speaking of the devil, let's bring him in here. Not that he's the devil. Hold on. Let's bring mutual friend in here. John Blakey, super fan John Blakey. How you doing, my friend?
Good. How are you, Rick?
Hey, good. Now we're here ganging up on him. But I want to ask you something, Jason. And I think this is a fair question about the 28-3 thing. This is not trash talking. This is a genuine honest question. Did that destroy the Falcon franchise? And I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean it honestly is the effect of losing that lead. They've not been the same since. And is it because of that? Or is it because of the coaching changes? Or is it, what's the mental impact of that?
No, that's a really good question. I mean, I don't think it's really been explored enough, if that makes sense. I certainly was doing research on your show and everything. So,
and you're still here.
Hey, I thought you did a really good job, honestly. So, but I think you said you had worked for the Falcons in your past as well, too, as well as the Bengals and the Bucs and everything.
Yep.
Definitely have something I'll ask you about the Bengals, but to stay on topic and everything, I mean, I think it was like it's definitely left a permanent scar that I don't think it can be erased, honestly, unless you win a Super Bowl, if not, multiple Super Bowls and everything as well, too.
Is that part of what needs to happen with moving on from Matt Ryan and such? Is it part of the rebuilding, and you almost need to cleanse that and put that away so that there aren't people who remember it?
So I mean, Matt Ryan's my favorite player. So I guess I'm biased, or I don't know if you want to call me an apologist or anything like that, but I'm like, through that run in 2016, he threw 9 touchdown passes. He rushed for 1, threw 0 interceptions. And it's like, I can't ask my franchise quarterback to perform any better than that.
Well, Jason, I don't know if you heard the stat I brought up earlier. Matt Ryan was not responsible for a single hit, sack, hurry, or pressure last week. Not even one.
Wow.
And the talk is all about how the passing game, blah, blah, blah. And everybody's thinking it's Matt Ryan and pointing at Matt Ryan, but not one pressure.
Rick.
Hurry, yes.
You and I both know that in our time that we spent in Atlanta, all the fans disliked Matt Ryan. The guy could go out there and he could make the Pro Bowl every single year. Yeah. The fans are just going to dislike him.
It was because of the whole change from Vic to him.
Right.
And there were lines drawn.
So I think as far as the fans go, until Matt Ryan's gone, they're not going to be all in.
Yeah, John, I agree. I mean, I don't want to agree because I actually think Matt Ryan's a really good quarterback.
Sure.
And I think he doesn't have a fair shake.
If he was in any other city in the NFL, I think he'd be a god.
Not Detroit.
Well, maybe not Detroit, but
not the Jets. But no, you're correct, John. I think you're right. I think much like what you're seeing with Matt Stafford, I think if you put Matt Ryan in a better situation, that guy's got all the talent you need. But if he was in Washington right now, that would be interesting.
Giants. If he was the Giants starting quarterback.
Yeah.
It'd be a totally different story about Matt Ryan. But
yeah.
I think
I agree with you. Now, let me ask you, Jason, is when you look at this game, and you were honest and you said,
yeah.
Okay, not so sure about this week. I will tell you, as a Bucs fan, I'm terrified that they're looking at the Rams the next week. This is a trap game if there ever was one. Where we just beat Dallas, and even though we didn't play good, we beat Dallas. We're all that.
Traditionally, the Buccaneers do not play very well on Ring of Honor games either.
Well, yeah, I think that's one of those stats. It's kind of funny. I always love those stats where it's like, well, on a Thursday, on Sunday games that are on odd numbered dates when the wind is blowing from the northwest and the temperature is between 72 and 84 degrees. That's one of those. Yeah, okay. They you're right, but I don't think the Ring of Honor thing has anything to do with the team playing.
Right. No, I get that.
But I look at this game and I just wonder. I hope. My guess, and Jason, tell me if you think I'm crazy. My guess is that the Falcons are going to do anything and everything possible to help out your offensive line. Okay, they're going to probably run 2 tight ends, keep a couple of backs in, max protect, do everything they can to protect Matt Ryan. My question is this. Then who is there left to take advantage of the Bucs weak secondary?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're completely saying right there. So Arthur Smith is obviously the new head coach for the Falcons and everything. He did a great job in Tennessee and everything as well too. He completely revitalized Tannehill's career.
Now that he's gone, look at Tennessee.
Yeah, that's true. God help anybody that has to, work with Adam Gase, but that's a whole nother discussion. But the 12 personnel, that's the base, if you will, as far as what the Falcons offense is. So the 2 tight ends
Right.
and everything as well too. So Kyle Pitts is kind of like that matchup unicorn, if you want to call it that, because you can pretty much line him up anywhere. I think he ran like around a 4.4 at the combine or something like that. So I mean, he's not like a typical tight end, if you will. I mean, he's blazing fast and everything. Calvin Ridley's one of the best route runners in the NFL amongst receivers.
Calvin Ridley is what he is,
as well too. And Russell Gage is also very athletic and sneaky as well too. You can line him up outside. You can line him up in the slot. He's not as good as Ridley, but he can still take advantage of you, if you will. And Hayden Hurst is a decent receiving option as far as the other tight end as well too. So you have options, but it's more of, I'll give you this. The whole weakness of the Falcons O-line is going to be the left guard, Jalen Mayfield, who's a rookie. And Fletcher Cox destroyed him last week. Yeah. And it's like, if I was Vita Vea or Sue, I would be licking my chops. It's like, literally, he's going to need help, obviously, as far as
Vita had such a good game against the Cowboys as well.
That's why I wonder if they're not just going to, like I said, keep everybody in and max protect to help him. 92.8% of the pressures that Matt Ryan faced came from either the left guard or the right tackle.
Wow.
That's insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And by the way, Johnny Dean says the Rams aren't a trap game. No, Johnny, I'm saying the Falcons. I'm concerned about the Falcons. I don't want them to be a trap game with the team looking forward to the Rams.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, is there anything? Give us a little trash talk. Talk some trash to us. Give it to us a little bit. Give us the business. I mean, what is it that Bucs fans? What do other teams hate about us?
I think I would say a lot of fans probably it's more of the Brady thing, if you will. I think another thing would be more of, obviously, when you're the defending Super Bowl champs, you have a big red X on your back or your chest or whatever, word you want to use basically as well too. So I think you're going to get every single team's best shot, if you will. I mean, everybody is going to be gunning for you and everything as well too. And
target on our back now.
Yeah. I think I would also say as well too, like I said, there's many things I see where, like I said earlier, where the Falcons, where it's like they seem to pull out a game that they should not should not win at all, basically.
Right.
And I would say if you take it too much for granted, you look too much to the Rams game the following week and everything, they might be able to sneak it out and everything as well too. So,
hey, Rick, I have something that I have to admit that I did to Jason as far as razzing.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so we went to the first preseason game together, and we're walking around, near where all the concession stands and everything is, and I saw a guy that I knew that worked for the Buccaneers, and he had his Super Bowl ring on, and I said, "Hey, Harrison, let's show this guy what a real Super Bowl ring looks like."
You might not know what this is, but they give these out when, no.
Felt bad about it, but it's all good. He knows that I'm just playing with him.
Nah, I feel bad about it. No, come on. That's what we all talk a little friendly trash to each other.
Exactly.
Jason, I want to thank you for coming by very, very much. I appreciate you being here, and we will play each other again later on in this year. And I would love to have you come back.
Sure, I definitely should be available, and I know that's more towards later in the year and everything as well too. So I appreciate you inviting me on.
You got it. Thank you very much, Jason.
All right, Jason.
See you, John.
All right, John, hang here for just a second. Let me get this set up correctly. There we go. All right, it's good to have you here, my friend.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Well, lots of changes. When I met you, we both lived in Atlanta. Now you live in Tampa. I'm living in Charlotte. It's it's funny how the world works.
It's strange.
So tell everybody about the Buccaneer invasion and all the stuff you got going on with Bucs Invasion.
Okay, so we have a little fan club here in Tampa that originated in Atlanta. It's called the Buccaneer Invasion, and we throw watch parties for road games this season, and we do these at Dave & Buster's in Tampa. Last year for our Super Bowl party, we had over 200 people attend. For the Washington playoff game, we had Super Bowl MVP Dexter Jackson and
you said little fan club. You said.
Yeah, little fan club. But we had Dexter Jackson come out, and he spoke to our fans and sat and watched the game with us. And we do raffles during halftime for charity. So we do some community work as well. But yeah, it took off in Atlanta, and it's been going ever since.
Yeah, he did. Folks, I know John from the Buccaneer Invasion, and prior to that, ATL Bucs in Atlanta. And I'm telling you, some of the best times I've ever had watching Buccaneers games were in Atlanta during those watch parties. So I mean those are good times and good memories. And I'm expecting at some point, I hope, to be able to join you for a game.
Sure.
Yeah.
And if people don't know this, but a lot of diehard fans in Atlanta, are in Atlanta.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know this. There's so many people that love the Bucs a lot more than some of the people here in Tampa.
Yeah.
Their dedication is there. They travel to the games, they support, they come out when Atlanta comes to town every year. It was definitely special to be part of that.
I got to tell you, when I moved down to Tampa from Atlanta for a few years, I have to be honest and tell you that I missed watching Bucs games in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth. Good people, very, very good people. Not only did I meet you, I met Teresa, who's one of the miscreants on Miscreant Mayhem right here on Bucs Report. And it's kind of crazy how one thing leads to another, and we end up here. John, I want to thank you so much for being here. Super fan John Blakey.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, on Sunday after the game, we got a post-game show. We have callers calling in. There's some ideas and some things I want to talk to you about maybe being a regular on that post-game show.
Yeah, let me know. I mean, I can. I'll help out in any way you want.
Awesome. I appreciate it, my friend.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that is John Blakey, super fan John Blakey. You will see him at games he's wearing a mask and a cape and his whole getup, and it's very, very cool. Very good guy, very good friend for going on a decade now, I'm sure. It's good to see him on here. Guys, there's a lot we have to look forward to in the game this week. I think that the Falcons are going to have a really difficult time scoring, simply because they're going to have to max protect like crazy. The Buccaneers are going to be bringing the kitchen sink at Matt Ryan, and they're going to have to max protect like crazy because of the weaknesses on their offensive line. And when they do that, there's nobody to take advantage of the secondary. The NFL is a game of matchups. All right. And this matchup looks good for the Buccaneers. This matchup looks good. I mean, I'm looking forward to this game. I really am. Now, barring a surprise, I don't expect a close game. I've been surprised in my life. So, I mean, who knows? We will see what the deal is. But, I mean, I genuinely believe that this game has the potential to be a blowout. I'm going to bring this up just for a few minutes, just in case anybody wants to do this. I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines. Let me put up a banner just in case anybody out there wants to make a phone call in here and talk. You can reach me at 678-825-5263, 678-825-5263. I got it open here just for a phone call or two, and then we'll see from there if someone calls. If nobody calls, then we're going to call it a night. But guys, this is a big game. This is a lot of fun. It's a division game. Don't sleep on this game. Don't think it's not a big game because it's only the Falcons. It's not only the Falcons. It's the freaking Falcons. They're in our division. Let's send them to 0-2 while we're 2-0. All the better. All the better. Create that separation. Your division games count twice as much. Guys, we got to come out strong. The Buccaneers need to come out strong, need to really manhandle the Falcons. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Please humiliate them. Please demoralize them. Please make them not want to play us again so that when we face them again later, they're not happy about it. That's what I want to see. That is what I want to see. I see a lot of you guys out there. Matt Colson, John. Oh, good deal. Here we go. We do have a call coming in. And hopefully you guys will be able to hear. Johnny Dean, how you doing?
I thought I was sneaking in on you, man.
No, how you doing, Johnny?
All right, bud. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
I'd kind of want to see a close game because I love watching Brady make the final drive wins, man.
I don't need that stress. I do not need that stress. I don't. That was too much last week. It was like, okay, that's the last year. Suck up didn't need to kick a game winner the whole year, and I was like, oh man, I wonder what's going to happen when he's in that position. Great, now I know. Don't do it again.
But leading into the Rams game, I would like to have them have a little knock in the road before the Rams game to keep their heads right.
Yeah, that I understand. That I understand. This is what I was saying earlier. Is this game scares me that it could be a trap game if they're not mentally prepared, if they're looking forward. You know,
right.
It's sandwiched between the first game, which was the Cowboys on prime time, and then the Rams, you know, which is another big game. And there's this one in between with a team that doesn't look so good. That's the trap game. And that's the only thing that concerns me. I mean, when you go ahead.
Go ahead.
There you go.
I was just thinking that the Atlanta game would be the perfect game to vault them over the Rams, because if they had a close game with Atlanta, that would wake them up for sure. And Brady, you know, if Brady has a tough game with a team like Atlanta, and he's going to be in everybody's butt. The coaching staff's going to be in everybody's butt. And I think that would help them against the Rams, because the Rams really do bother me, dude.
No, the Rams are good. That is a very good early season test. And I got this. I have a sneaky suspicion it's not the only time those two teams are going to play this year.
Exactly. That's how I feel about it, sir.
Yeah. So, I mean, I do think it's going to be a blowout. I think Brady will keep them humble, but we'll see. You know, I mean, it's a tough thing, man. It's a tough road to hoe. You and I've talked about this, Johnny. Every team, including a bad team. The teams that you think of that are bad NFL teams, the difference between them and the good teams is razor thin.
Yeah, that's why in every one of my predictions, I always add a loss to a team that you know what sees coming. So if I like to say they're going to go 14-3, that 14 is there only because of the unexpected loss.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because last week I was talking about the fact that if you told me make a prediction for the Bucs season, I'll say 13-4. They'll lose to a couple of very good teams. Let's say the Rams, just as an example, maybe the Saints once. And I said, then they're going to drop 2 games that they probably shouldn't. That's how it's going to go. I mean, there's going to be a Thursday night game. There's going to be, you know, there's going to be something out there. There's just a matchup, the way the matchups work, like Dallas matched up well. There's going to be some team that, man, the Saints scare me this year big time because of the type of game they play.
Yeah. We've been saying it all year, man. The Saints haven't gotten weaker.
Right.
And if they could keep Jameis into those short routes and the running game going strong and relying on their trenches like they always do, then they're not going to be a big drop off for the Saints at all this year.
Yeah. You know what's amazing to me? Just for fun, I want you to think about this. Okay. Now, obviously these numbers are not going to happen. Okay. But Jameis is on pace. This is just hilarious. Think about what I'm about to say. Everybody process what I'm about to say, because this is hilarious. He's on pace for 85 touchdown passes and only 2,400 yards in 17 games.
Yeah, and I bet they would take that too. You know what I mean?
85 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, but only 2,416 yards or something like that. That's hilarious. Can you imagine 85? I mean, 30 for 30. Yeah.
That's like 1960s football.
I mean, that's insane. 85. I mean, that I don't even know that there was a time. Look, he had one good game. Everybody simmer down, Sparky. I mean, it's reality is going to set in. Now we got film on what they're doing.
The first game of the season is always a liar.
Yep.
For everybody, for every team.
Oh, that's a great saying.
It's the first team of every season is a liar because they're gathering tape. By the fourth or fifth game of the season, that's when you start to see their schemes developing, and then the teams actually playing what they're going to be playing. Everybody's
got their sea legs. They've all been playing together. Things start to click. That's exactly. I've never heard that saying before, and that's a great saying. The first game of the season is always a liar. I like that. That's a good saying.
I actually stole that one. That was Daniel Jeremiah that said that.
Well, it's brilliant. It really is. I mean, that's a great saying, and I believe in that wholeheartedly. I've been saying it all along. That I think it's the first 2 games you just got to watch out for. So
yeah, once there's tape out there on every team's got put out some tape on a couple of games and stuff, then people can start settling in.
Yeah, we've now got tape on Jameis with New Orleans. I mean, everybody's got tape on that now. And then after a couple more games, where you have more and more tape on that, and teams can start to adjust and learn what's going on there with that new Saints offense, which is kind of the old Saints offense, but a little bit of change. Anybody who says Sean Payton, and I will tell you this, I said Sean Payton develops his offense around his quarterback. And I will tell you, Sean Payton's running the same offense, of course, small wrinkles. You and I talked about this the other night. He's running the same offense that he did previously with Drew Brees. It's just now they have an upgraded talent at quarterback. Yes, I just said they have an upgraded talent at quarterback.
Because James can hit the long ball when he needs to. If he goes down the center field, he can throw a 60-yard bomb on target.
Yeah,
it's those little quick outs that I was always worried about him in that system because he never has been good at that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I said it earlier. I don't know if you heard what I said, Johnny, but I mean, you saw all the Facebook posts, right? About just the love for Jameis, and Jameis would have been.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll pull up a couple of these here. I'll read them out loud. Now, everything I'm about to read to you guys came from Buccaneers fan groups. Okay. What I'm about to read to you came from Buccaneers fan groups. So guys, honestly, this is a classic version of
stupid Bucs fans say.
I mean, it really is. I'm just amazed where it says one person posted, "I'm just going to be honest, Bucs fans. Joe Tryon looks like a first-round bust." Somebody posted that. Hot take: Bruce Arians should be fired. Byron Leftwich should be fired. Todd Bowles should be fired.
We got
somebody said that during the game. Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Winston would have played a flawless game if he played with the Bucs. Everybody talking about the Bucs only good because of Brady. In that same perspective, y'all's quarterback. Well, I'm not even going to read the rest of that one. I can't. Nah. Anybody else disappointed in Mike Evans last night? Guys, these are. I'm just people posted this stuff. We wouldn't have needed Tom Brady if Winston played like this for us. It's a different offense.
Jesus.
I wish Jameis wasn't playing for the. Yeah, I wish Jameis wasn't playing for the enemy. Totally different than what we saw with the Bucs. It was damn fun rooting for Jameis today. Big ups and congratulations, King Jameis. Hail to the King, tying his Bucs record with 5 TDs with his first games with a true organization. This is in a Bucs fan club. Someone also said Godwin has to go, man. He might have single-handedly cost us this game.
Didn't we win?
Yeah. So that was during the game. That was during the game. Didn't age well. Did not age well.
Not at all.
So yeah, all the love for Jameis. I don't know if you heard what I said earlier about all the love for Jameis from Bucs fans, but to me, it's like if you're dating a supermodel and you're looking back at the ugly girl you used to date and checking out her Facebook status and sort of stalking and, you know, reminiscing about the good times you had with the ugly girl. I mean,
well, you know what most of those fans are? Most of those fans were Brady lovers before he came here.
Yeah.
I mean, Brady haters before he came here.
Right, Brady haters. Yep.
That hate.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it's stupid. I think it's ridiculous. And I don't know. You know, the one thing that I can say, Johnny B actually said this perfectly.
What the fuck are you people thinking?
that's about all there is to say. So guys, well, I want to thank you, Johnny. Thanks for calling in.
All right, later, bud.
Have a good one. All right, guys. It was a fun show tonight. I hope you guys had fun. If anybody else calls in the next like 30 seconds, then I'll take your call. But guys, thanks for coming by. I see all you guys in there. Benny, thank you for all the comments. Much appreciated. Matt, thank you for the comments. Johnny, as always, Johnny Dean always brings the knowledge. Frederick Brown, Harry Berg, Harry the Greek. By the way, watch Harry's show tomorrow night. Tomorrow, Harry's show is at 9:00 right here on Bucs Report, the over-under with Harry the Greek. And you'll get all kinds of great info on lines and everything for this week's game. It's an early enough time for you to take advantage of that stuff if you're so inclined. Frederick Brown, thank you. Tapazio, thank you. Tapazio, one of these days I'll learn how to say your name correctly. I said Benny's, can I say this right? Sokolowski's. I don't know if I said that even close to correct. But thank you guys, all of you. Christopher Cole, as always, thank you for being here. David Whitescarver, thank you for coming by tonight. Johnny Dean, thank you for calling. John Superfan Blakey, thank you for stopping by. Mad Mike of Atlanta Falcons Nation, thank you for coming by. Jason Gaines, thank you for coming by. It was a good show. I had a lot of fun. And we got so much ahead. Guys, we got a big game this week. It's a division game. Don't sleep on it, and hope our team doesn't sleep on it, because you never know. This thing could be close. You really, it's welcome to football. It's a funny shaped ball that bounces in weird ways. You never know. But I'd love to see a blowout. I think it could happen. If you told me, place my bets, I think it's gonna be a blowout. But as some of you know, I'm not the kind to bet a whole lot. And the guy who does, Harry the Greek, will fill you in on all that information tomorrow. He'll give you all kinds of great info at 9:00. Listen to Harry the Greek right here on the Bucs Report. We'll until then, guys, I guess there are other shows and other things going on, but I will see you later. But the most important thing, if you are BucAF, if you are Buck as well, you know, then you only got one thing to say: go Bucs.